JFD, just fair and direct.
Okay, hello and welcome everyone. Welcome to JFD Traders Tea Time with me, Darius Anucauskas. Today is the 14th of July 2020. So yep, welcome everyone. Welcome to this Tuesday's afternoon live session where we're going to have a quick look at the markets, a few of the charts, some of the charts that we looked at this morning just to see how everything's getting along, and some new ones of course. And yep, as always, before we do that, let's quickly have a read through our risk disclaimer. So the content we produce does not constitute investment advice or investment recommendation. It should not be considered as such, and does not in any way constitute an invitation to acquire any financial instrument or product. As always, a few seconds for you to read the rest and we can continue. Okay, so now then, also just before we jump into the charts, quick mentioning of our JFD YouTube channel, to which you can always subscribe to in order not to miss any of our upcoming videos, and of course our JFD Bank website, and specifically our JFD research page, which we also update on a daily basis. So yep, feel free to visit us here on jfdbank.com and click on the research tab right there on the top. Now, jumping into the indices here quickly. So the first one I want to touch on here is the German DAX. Now the index here is drifting lower today, so this is what I was talking about this morning. So in a way, given that yesterday's U.S. equities kind of fell sharply to the downside, and they continue to do so well on the futures market. So, but I'll get to that point. So we're seeing a continuation move lower here on DAX, and yep, for now everything's kind of confirming this possible idea, which I've mentioned as well this morning, of a possible kind of island reversal. So again, such patterns tend to be bearish. For now, yes, we are leaning a little bit more to the downside. However, this move lower could still be seen as a temporary correction before another leg of buying, just because we are still above this upside support line taken from the low of the 19th of March. So in a way, if it drifts a little bit lower, yes, there is still a chance for the buyers to step in somewhere here either near the 21-day EMA shown as the yellow line, or this upside support line. So keep your eyes on that one. Again, like I said, for now, guys, from the very short-term perspective, I am leaning a little bit here to the downside. So let's see first of all how it's going to behave near this 21-day EMA and near this upside support line. If all this provides support, then yes, a nice rebound could be possible. If you're more on the cautious side, you could wait for a push above the 12,913 territory marked by the highest point of June, and then aim for some higher levels, because this such a move would confirm a forthcoming higher high, and more buyers could be joining in here. So that's why, if you're, like I said, more on the cautious side, you could wait for that break. If this upside line gets broken, then of course this could increase the DAX's chances of drifting lower. However, to be a little bit more on the safe side, preferably a drop below the 11,957 territory could do the trick here for more sellers. Now, jumping into Nasdaq 100. So yesterday we saw a beautiful move lower after reaching this area right here, and after hitting the its all-time high near the 11,069 territory. And what I was also saying yesterday to you guys in my Traders Tea Time when I was covering Nasdaq, I was telling you guys to keep a close eye on this high, on the high of the 10th of July, on Friday's high basically, and Friday's, or should I say not only Friday's, but last week's high, because what I was saying, that this level here near the 10,843 zone, if it gets violated, this could open the door towards lower levels, and this is exactly what happened. We had a nice drop here, and you can see that the index drifted heavily to the downside, reaching kind of dropping almost around 400 points. If we take it, of course, from the peak, yep, ended the day near the 10,600 level. And if we look at the cash index and where it's currently sitting at, you will see that the price is already below that area, below this 10,600 level. It is now currently balancing near the 10,500 level. So basically, still slightly above this area that I've mentioned previously, but near the low of the 6th of July here, around the 10,486 territory. But again, like I said, we're still slightly above that on the cash index. So in a way, if everything kind of goes as it is right now today, then well, we could even see a further decline. And first of all, of course, we will aim for that 21-day EMA, which, as you can see, kind of continues to provide decent support. Slightly below that, we do have this upside support line taken from the low, the 21st of April. In a way, of course, some of you might have drawn this upside line here taken from the low of the 23rd of March. Now, this is a little bit more of a tentative one. However, it's closer to the to this 21-day EMA, so we can keep that on the chart for now. The last resort could be that other upside line which I've talked about right now, but for now, let's say we can keep this one on the chart as it is closer to the 21-day EMA. And like I said, for now, that's where we're going to be aiming for. This area could be near the 10,307 mark, so we'll see how it performs around here. But again, at the moment, guys, looking at the cash index, not everything is looking good here on Nasdaq. So in a way, we could see this one drifting a little bit lower. And initially, as I said, our targets are going to be near the 10,486 territory, but slightly below that, the much better one is near the 10,307 mark, which is the high of the 23rd of June. So keep your eyes on that one. It also coincides with the 21-day EMA. Now, silver. Silver is stuck. So yesterday I talked about this one, and basically silver was popping nicely above this 1904 territory, and I was talking about it, saying that in a way, if it stays above it, then yes, higher levels could be met. But as you can see, it drifted higher yesterday, but ended the day just bang on this line, and kind of, to be honest, well, I mean, for now, we will, of course, yes, we'll still remain somewhat positive, but given that it kind of stuck, it struggled to close nicely above it, above this barrier, which was the high, which is still the high of last week. Then, well, I mean, it's kind of raising a bit of concerns here right now, and the fact that today, for example, the commodities struggling to move further north. Now, that's why we're probably not going to exclude this potential scenario. If this barrier here, the 19.04 level, continues to provide resistance, then we might see a bit of a correction here to the downside, maybe towards this upside support line taken from the low of the 7th of May, and then we would take it from there. Because if that gets broken, then yep, maybe lower levels could be met. This could go for a larger move to the downside. But again, for now, even if it does move lower, as long as it stays above this upside support line, yes, we will remain overall positive. Now, jumping into crypto, and this one here today, right now on this session, I'm talking about Ripple. So Ripple is struggling, or should I say, the bears of Ripple are struggling to bring this the price below the 100-day EMA, or should I even correct myself, are struggling to keep the rate, keep the price below the 100-day EMA, shown here as the green line, because we keep getting these overshoots, but it doesn't still, the bulls are still able to kind of lift the crypto back above this 100-day EMA. So in a way, everything's kind of working out nicely with this idea that I talked about last week, where we could see a bit of a correction here to the downside, but if it remains above either the 100-day EMA or this downside line, then still there is a possibility for this one to move higher. And yep, we could target the 200-day EMA initially, but a break above that could, of course, set the stage for a move towards the highest point of June, which is around here near the 0.2152, a break of which could open the door towards even further higher levels. But again, for now, let's see if we actually do get this nice rebound here back to the upside. Another interesting pair, which you probably don't look at very often, but I just wanted to quickly run it by you guys. Basically, US dollar against the Swedish Crown, and here basically you can see that the pair is testing its key support area near this. Let me just quickly lift this one right here near this 9.1271 territory. So today we had the inflation figures from Sweden, which came out better than the forecast, and well, basically this is what's helping the Swedish Crown to strengthen a little bit here against the US dollar. However, it's currently struggling with this level here near this 9.1271 territory, which is, by the way, the lowest point of June. So we need to see a nice good daily close below this in order to aim for some lower levels. A break of that territory could then open the door, of course, towards the lowest point of March 2019, and that's roughly, and let me just quickly put this one on the chart. There we go. So that's roughly near the 9.1018 territory, a break of which could kind of signal further declines, and yep, we could start looking at these levels here closer to that psychological 9 level. But again, we need that confirmation break, we need that daily close below this area, below the lowest point of June, before kind of considering further declines. For now, it seems that it's struggling, it's finding this good support area here, so that's why be very careful, guys, for now, and let's see if this eventually actually drops. Of course, we do have another kind of bearish indication, is that the pair is still trading below this downside line. Let me just quickly put this one on the chart, guys. So this downside line here, taken from the highest point of March of this year. So in a way, as long as it stays intact, yep, the trend, the main trend, is to the downside, guys. But again, we're waiting for that confirmation break here, and ideally a daily close below June low. US dollar against the Japanese yen. So this one is, well, after a nice reversal here on Monday, today, yes, the pair is climbing a little bit higher, but as I've mentioned recently when I was covering this pair, basically we are currently stuck below this downside line, this tentative, short-term tentative downside resistance line taken from the high of the 5th of June. In a way, we cannot really talk about anything here, neither the upside nor the downside, because again, for the downside, we're looking here for a drop below the 105.94 level in order to kind of aim for some lower levels, because such a move would confirm a forthcoming lower low, and more sellers could be joining in. However, for the upside, well, preferably we would like to get a break above the 108.16 territory, at least above that, because the price, should I say, the rate would also travel above the above this 200-day EMA. However, we do have this downside line here, which could provide some resistance initially, and if it fails to let's say break this downside line, then we could see another round of selling. However, if this downside line gets violated, then of course the next target is the highest point of June near the 109.85 level. But again, I do understand it's quite a lot to wait for those who are looking for something short term. Keep your eyes on this little short-term downside resistance line taken from the high of the 5th of June. A nice good break above it could open the door towards slightly higher levels here, guys. But again, still keep the element of the doubt, because we do have a bunch of strong resistance levels here. So at any time it could move a little bit higher, find resistance here, and then reverse back down. Because also keep in mind that if, for example, this level here, the 106.48 level, acts now as a possible lower bound of the range, where let's say if the pair travels higher, finds resistance near the 108.16 and then reverses back down, then we could be getting ourselves a nice range here. In that case, we'll have to just wait until the pair exits the range. So that's the reason why I have these levels here, these potential breakout levels marked here with these arrows, just because of that, because like I said, this pair could kind of end up forming this range. Again, I might be getting ahead of myself a little bit, but keep your eyes on this idea. Let's see if that's going to work out. But first, from the very, very short-term perspective, if this downside line gets broken, there is possibility to see at least a move towards the 108.16 level. GBP CAD very quickly here. So the pair is drifting lower. I talked about this pair recently, and I was telling you guys to keep a close eye on this downside line, which, as you can see, kind of continues to provide guidance on where the pair could be heading overall. Recently, the pair found resistance near this 1.7175 territory, marked by the high of the 16th of June, or in other words, the highest point of June. Yes, the pair did overshoot on last week. The pair did overshoot that barrier. However, it failed to stay above it. So now the pair is drifting lower, closer to the 21-day EMA. So let's see if this 21-day EMA will provide some sort of support. If it fails to do so, yep, lower levels could be met, and we could start looking at some lower levels if the pair drops below the 1.6877 territory. And then, like I said, yes, we could consider some lower areas here. And in terms of the upside, we need to see a break of this downside line first before aiming for some higher levels. And finally, Euro USD here. So the pair is moving nicely above this level that I talked about this morning. And actually, well, I have been talking about it for quite a while now. So this 1.1353 level, we're getting another overshoot here above it. The rate is currently trading above it as well. So let's see if the daily candle stays above that barrier. If it does, then yes, this is kind of opening the door towards a possible move towards the highest point of June here, near the 1.1422. But if that fails to withhold, then yes, of course, this would confirm a forthcoming higher high, and the next target could be the current highest point of this year, near the 1.1496. So basically, all eyes are on today are on the 1.1353 zone. Like I said, like I mentioned in my video this morning, that's what we need. We need to see a daily candle staying above this barrier in order to kind of get a little bit more excited about some further upside. So it's something for you guys to keep in mind. So guys, I really hope you found it useful, and thank you very much for watching and listening. If you want to catch my video tomorrow morning, as always, my Traders Espresso, 6 o'clock GMT time. But for now, I hope you have a wonderful evening, guys, and I'll thank you very much for joining in. Bye bye.